Hi everybody, welcome back to the den. Thanks very much for watching. Thanks very much out there for those people who have just subscribed and popping by and having a look at the little video. The video we're doing today is just a series of ones I'm going to start doing on catch-ups on games. A lot of games are just issued and nothing much else happens. You may get an add-on here and there, but there are some games out there that are permanently being added onto. Now this particular game, if you're up to date with it, then this won't really be of interest to you, but this could be of interest for you if you are just looking to get into this game and you want to see the scope of where it is at the moment. And obviously you can see that, but it's nice to see it all in one thing. I am a completionist. I just love collecting bits and pieces. I have not fully played out this game, but as most gamers would admit, we've got stuff piled up in all corners, just adding to them on those days when on that hope that we're going to start playing them properly. Well, for the amount of Kickstarters coming in, I don't think I'm ever going to have time. Anyway, the one we're going to be talking about is Arkham Horror, the card game. Released Fantasy Flight game. It was released in 2016 and it sits at the Board Game Geek ranking of number 19, so not too shabby there. Very much well received when it first came out. A few grumbles and moans. Oh, we haven't got enough scenarios, but it's a living card game. They did the same for Lord of the Rings, which is going on, and I used to have that and it was absolutely massive, and this is now getting into the same thing. So what we're going to do is have a quick overview of where the series is at the moment. I've pretty much got most of it, apart from a couple of promo cards things which I didn't pick up. So I can quickly show you where we're up to. So first thing, of course, there is the box set, the starter set. It comes with 3 scenarios for a mini campaign, The Night of the Zealot. And what I went ahead and did was got into Broken Token, which is this sort of insert people, and put the laser cut ply insert in there and had all my cards in there. So that was one thing I wanted to get organised straight away. So like I say, it comes with Night of the Zealot campaign. Okay, so there's a few scenarios into that, and then obviously that plays by itself. But then from that, that's where we come in. It's a living card game. Okay, so once we've dealt with the base set, we're then into further campaigns. Now what they do is they release a campaign. So the next campaign that came up was the Dunwich Legacy, okay, which in this case came with 1 scenario, and you play through that, and it had lots of extra cards to the game, some new characters, new abilities, those sort of things, and you carry your character on. So from this basic you can then carry your character on, and like that's a living card game, and you move on into this thing. Now, so you buy into this, and the next one in the series, as I said, was the Dunwich Legacy, which came along, and then it follows up with 6 scenario packs. Okay, and this is where they generally issue these probably about once a month. So we have the 6 packs out for the Dunwich Legacy: the Mystatronic Museum, the Essex County Express, Blood in the Altar, Undimensioned, Unseen, When Doom Waits, and Lost in Time and Space. So those packs go with this and complete the campaign, and that joins in at scenario 2, which is one of these, so it's built up a scenario, and once again from that your character develops and you can then take them on into the next thing. So that was the first one up, was the Dunwich Legacy. Next one that came along was the Path to Carcosa. Okay, and once again same treatment again, but this time there's 2 scenarios in here. Once again, comes again with additional cards, lots more cards that you can, and don't forget it's a deck building game. So and by the way, there's lots of really cool sites that give you indications on deck building, so you can build your character's deck and so on. So after Carcosa, once again, that has already been gone past its 6. Echoes of the Past, Unspeakable Oath, the Phantom of Truth, the Pallid Mask, Black Stars Rise, and Dim Carcosa. So we've got our 6 packs there. Now anybody who's been reviewing these will give away spoilers, so I'll be very careful in looking on those. All these are sealed because I've never played them. Once again, as I said, a completionist on there, and you've just got to be aware of that. So we're up to 6 packs of those already, and the latest campaign one is the Forgotten Age. Okay, so this is the latest in Forgotten Age. Once again, it's an expansion on there, campaign expansion. Now, there are actually, I've got the Threads of Fate, which is the first one. The second one is out, which the name escapes me at the moment. I haven't got it here because what I tend to do is I tend to pre-order a couple of packs with some distributors, because it's cheaper, and you get free postage if you wait for a couple of things. So they'll send that with the second or third pack. I'm not in a big rush to get them, just to things. But once again, that's up to pack 2 of the Forgotten Age. Okay, so already in the time, nearly 2 years, it's already built. We've got 3 campaigns going on. We've got the main box set, and we've got the add-on. Now, the other thing that they have are breakout scenario packs. Okay, so they had 2 to start with. The Curse of the Ragwolf, is it? I have to put my glasses on for this one. Ragnaru. I'm sure somebody will connect with me on the phone. Now, this is a breakout scenario. You can still play it within the scope of the game. It can be sort of like you go offside and go off and play this scenario and then come back. It does cost you to do that for this. Now, they brought out this Ragnaru, and they brought out this Carnival of Horrors one. Now, anybody's familiar with the old Lord of the Rings add-on packs that they did, and these are sort of like print and play ones. So these weren't printed on their big lithographic machines, you know, so it's the quality. They come as though like they've been printed on a little sort of their own printer, as it were. They are really good, but they don't have the same quality, all right, but they are what they are. They're breakout scenarios which you can play anytime, and that's where those go. Now, what did they do to change that? Well, they brought out this Labyrinth of Lunacy, which is the latest one, and it's a scenario pack, but these are 2 decks in here, all nicely printed. It isn't a breakout. It's not something that you can either play them separately or as a small mini campaign. I couldn't really read anything in there where it would influence your character in the bigger scope, so I think it's more, oh right, okay, we'll just play that as a separate. But somebody, I mean, I've not played it, so somebody could be corrected. But that's the latest thing, and I think there's a number of these in the line. And one thing you've got to get into, understand, if you get into this, you will just keep spending money. You will just keep putting money into it, because they're going to bring these out. They're going to bring more campaigns out, and you've got to have them, yeah. And each one of those is followed up with 6 of the thing, and it doesn't stop there, does it? Because you then have the additional components. They're the playmats. Now, they're 4 sort of half-size playmats, and then they have this. Now, I know that this is available in the States quite easily, but it's a gorgeous playmat that you can play your game on. Okay, it has been extremely difficult to get over here. I imported this one and ended up with charges on it, but it's the way it was. It is, I think it has a name as well, but so you've got the big playmat that you can buy into, and there's these sort of half-size playmats which seem to be quite easy to get hold of here in the UK. I mean, I don't think you have any problems if you're looking in from the States. So we have playmats to go in. I use, instead of tokens and that, a number of the Stonemaier Games components. I'll put some stills up about here, but they're basically where you've got health markers and things like that. You've got little model bits and pieces that will show that. So what else have they brought along? Well, the next thing, of course, they bring out is books, which, here we are. So here we have our Investigators of Arkham Horror. Now these, obviously anybody who follows the Fantasy Flight Arkham Horror will know that the Investigators spread over to Mansions of Madness and, you know, Eldritch Horror and others and things like that. So these are really backstory books, okay? It's a gorgeous book. and it is predominantly backstory. Now the one thing was that they did do an edition of this which allowed you to get a card of review or one of the characters from the card game. Okay, I didn't get it, I just got the book. It wasn't so much of a special edition. I believe she's either turned up in the others or she's going to turn up, but you've got that, and that is an absolute, so you've got that because you want the backstory to the characters. Okay, what do they do then? They bring out little novels. Okay, currently there are 5 of them. The Gate, the Deep Gate, the Dirge of Reasons, To Fight the Black Wind, Hour of the Huntress, and of the Void. That's the 5 at the moment. I haven't seen anything come up. They are like hen's teeth, I'll be honest with you, to get a hold of, So why are they of interest to this? Well, because in each pack you get an investigator. Okay, so in each one of those, behind the story and that, you'll get the investigator cards. And if that isn't good for completionist material, I don't know what is. Okay, so we've got the 5 novels there, and I imagine they're growing. There's nothing much on the Fantasy Flight website at the moment about new novels, but to be honest with you, the Dirge of Reason just turned up out of the blue. So once again, completionist, you've got 5 novels there. Good luck with finding all 5. I know that they're on reprints, but they seem to come on reprint and then go out of print. That's not it though, is it? If you are familiar with The Lord of the Rings, what they do, and they're very good at this, is they will revisit. In some of the scenarios on Lord of the Rings, what you could do is you could buy a Nightmare pack, and they would add extra cards to make in scenarios that you'd already played, and missions, whatever, doubly hard, and you can revisit it. This game has only gone, into 3 campaigns and various things before they brought out just recently Return to the Night of the Zealot. And if you remember what I just said before, the Night of the Zealot is the base campaign game in the base game, but now they brought out it so that you can upgrade that and make it harder, so you're returning back. So you can see how the machine is going, and we've got to have it because these have become like hen's teeth as well. So the only thing I can get with this is the Night of the Zealot campaign. I'm not going to, hopefully you won't see too much, but I'm going to put my hands on any suppose. But you can see this huge great box. This doesn't do anything. This is just, I haven't worked out what this does. It doesn't do anything. All my Night of the Campaign cards are orchestrated down the end here. That's great, fantastic. Thank you very much, Fantasy Flight, for a fantastic looking box. The problem is, they're going to do one for that. Then the next one's going to be, I would imagine, Return to the Dunwich Horror, Return to the Path of Carcosa, and Repair to the Forgotten Age, and so on and so forth. So you can see how it grows and grows and grows. And, and I'll be there. I will be purchasing those items. That's as simple as that. So this was the latest add-on. A different add-on. This was on back order for some time. Anyway, we've got a copy of that, which was pretty cool. That's where you're up to with those sort of things, and like I say, the packs are coming out. One little thing I would suggest to people is to get into, which is a little bit things, is depending on what you choose the little, you have a pick bag for how you progress and so on, but start looking at these, what they call coin capsules. Okay, they come in lots of different sizes. You can go on eBay for them. Okay, it's pretty cheap really, to be honest with you. But they're coin capsules, and you get your cardboard discs, and you can snap them into coin capsules, which is, to be honest with you, a lot easier to handle. So I really enjoyed using those. I've actually converted most of my other stuff to it. So there we are. That's a little overview of where the collection is up at the moment. I'm sure that in another 2 years' time you won't be able to see me, because there'll be not only probably about 4 of these boxes, another 3 campaigns going on, and God knows what else with books and one thing or another. But if you're a completionist like myself, then this is where we're up to on this. It's one of those, when I've got loads of one of those. Anyway, thanks very much for watching. If you want to see more of this crazy nonsense, please subscribe, and I look forward to Oh, got some new games coming in from GMT over the next week or so, so we'll be doing some unboxings. Happy thrills. Thanks very much. Take care. Goodbye.